If you fear losing, it is impossible to win unless you change. Driven Mofos, welcome back to another episode of The Underestimated Entrepreneur. Look, fear is an absolute pig of a thing. We all have it. You know, I hear all these personal development speakers and they say, we'll get rid of fear. We'll remove your fear. You know, all the timeline therapists out there, all the NLP practitioners who learn timeline therapy, they say that they can eliminate fear or all these other emotions. It's all bullshit, right? I've tried it. I used it for many, many years. I've worked with all different practitioners to see if that was possible. Now, can you eliminate fear at the level you're playing at? Yes. But can you eliminate the fear of the unknown at the next level? The answer is no. It's all going to pop up. Can you eliminate fear if I held your legs off of the side of a building? So if I did the old mafia style and me and my big mate grabbed your legs and we hung you off the side of a 20-story building, would you have fear? Yes, you'd probably shit your pants. So you can't eliminate fear. It's always going to be there. But how do you deal with fear? You need the thing that most people lack, and that is courage. Every week I speak to people and they say, you know, if I just had more confidence, and I'm like, you don't get confidence. Confidence is earned. You don't have it. You don't have it because you haven't earned it. Earn it. How do you earn it? You have courage. Courage is, shit, I'm scared, but I will do it. And I will keep moving forward and I will figure it out and I will better myself and I will improve and I'll realize that the thing that I'm scared of isn't as bad as what I thought. That's how you move to the next level and that's how you build confidence. Confidence comes with competence. Competence means that you've done repetition. You've done something over and over and over and over again to get good at it. So you don't get rid of fear. You build confidence by getting competent. You get competent by committing to something and having the courage. Most fucking people that I deal with, and look, I'm going to be harsh on this episode because I deal with fucking idiots all the time. Absolute fucking pancakes, right? These are the people who message me and they go, I want to improve my life. I want to do better and all this shit. And I'm like, right, cool, let's do it. And they're like, oh man, but you know, it's just, it's the money thing. And I'm like, cool. So you're telling me that you don't have the money, but what you're telling me is that if you had the money, then that would be the solution to your fear. I don't understand. Okay, let me explain this. If you had more money, you wouldn't have fear around the growth to the next level. So let's say I'm going to go and buy a $10 million investment property. Like let's say I'm going to go buy a $10 million commercial real estate, right? I'm going to go buy a $10 million property. So if I had $10 million in the bank, I just go out, I put $10 million on it, and then my brain goes, cool, let's grow. Let's go do something. And then I go, shit. Okay, now I got to grow again. Fuck, but now I don't have money because I just invested all my money. So what's going to be the natural response? Fear. Fear is going to be the next natural response. I don't have enough money to get to the next level. The same as every other person on the goddamn planet. Every person. So using money as a reason to not do shit is the dumbest fucking thing that people do. It is dumb. I had to train myself over about a 10-year period to stop using money as an excuse. Money is not an excuse. When I negotiate a deal, I go, this is what I want. I'm committed to this. Let me sign the paperwork, but now let's just figure out terms. You negotiate terms. You don't put shit off. That's what people do that stall all the time. Now, I'm not saying you can just go out there and if you make $250 a year, right? And I'm saying like literally 250, or I'll use a better number. Let's say you make $25,000 a year. I'm not saying go out, go to a commercial real estate broker and say, hey, look, I want to buy this $10 million property. That is so idiotic. What I'm saying is that the things that you want right now, the first natural response of you getting that thing is going to be fear, right? I'm fat. I'm overweight. I feel like shit. Your brain says, I should probably go to the gym. I should probably exercise and I probably need to hire a trainer. In order for you to go to the gym, your natural response is going to be fear because it's the fear of the unknown. Have you had a trainer before? Have you been to that same gym? Are you afraid of what other people are going to think? All of that shit is going to come up. So now what are you going to do? Are you going to just wait until you've lost all the weight, until you know how to exercise, until you manage your diet before you go to the gym so that you can get rid of your fear? No, that is not what you do. That is what fucking idiots convince themselves of. Most people are fucking idiots. And they're fucking idiots because that's exactly what they do, right? They wait until they lose weight before they go to the gym because they think that the losing the weight will get rid of the fear, which then allows them to go to the gym. But if they'd lost the weight, they wouldn't go to the gym anyway because they've found a way to lose the weight. So when I speak to people and they're like, I need a coach, I'm like, cool. Why do you need a coach? Well, I'm not where I want to be. I'm slipping on my disciplines. I do shit for a little while, then I fuck everything up again. People know that they're fucking shit up. And then I speak to them and they're like, oh man, but I don't know. Can you explain to me how this is going to work? I had a guy, this is a true story. A couple of weeks ago, I have a guy reaches out to me. He goes, hey, shoots me a DM on Instagram. Hey, dude, I came across your car. I saw your car. Fucking awesome. Love it. This is the McLaren, right? Over a $500,000 car. In fact, the guy that I bought it from paid about $900K for the car, right? With all the customs and everything on it. So $500,000 car, this guy sees it, right? Then there's a whole bunch of my event participants standing around the car. He starts talking to them. He says, whose car's this? My event participants tell them, oh, what are you here for? They say, we're here for an event. Oh, what does this guy do? They get in this conversation. So this guy sends me a DM. He says, hey mate, love your car. I've been speaking to a bunch of your event participants. They love what you do. They're getting amazing results. They're telling me about their business growth. One guy was telling me that he's making like millions of dollars since joining up with you. I mean, this guy here went from like his business pretty much doubled. And we're talking like he was probably doing about 15 to 16 million a year in revenue in about a 12 to 18 month period. He's now up to 26 to about 28 million. And then he started another business on the side, which within about a 3-month period, he did $3 million in revenue. So this guy's talking to my participants about these results. So he's like, oh, cool, I'm keen to get involved. I'm keen to do something, like, let me know. So anyway, I said, look, cool, what are your problems? He tells me his problems. I'm stuck. I'm not getting where I want to be. I keep slipping and letting myself down. I go through periods where I work really, really hard. I do a great job. I do everything well. And then all of a sudden, I just fuck everything up again. So I lose my discipline. I go into cruise mode. I start playing in fear. I start wasting my money and buying shit that I don't need. And I'm like, cool, man, I'll help you out. Let's get this started. I send him all the information, send him the price. And then he comes back and he goes, okay, this all sounds good, but what guarantees do you give? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he goes, well, what guarantees do you have that I'm going to get results? And I said, this is my exact quote. And I guarantee this is going to hit most of you between the eyeballs. I said, it's not that you don't believe in me, it's you don't believe in you. And I said, because you already know, you stood next to my $500,000 car. Can you just go to the bank? Like if I said to you right now, could you just go to the bank and get $500,000 loan for a car? The banks would tell 99% of people to fuck off. Why? Because they don't earn enough money. So I obviously earn a lot of money. Now, I could do that if I was a scammer and I could do that if I was a fraud. And that's what most people think, right? Because they're idiots. And because they're used to being on TikTok and seeing some 18-year-old kid leaning on somebody else's fucking Lamborghini, right? They're used to seeing that shit. So I understand his hesitation. But he spoke to the fucking event participants. He spoke to them. They told them about the results, the growth, the achievements that they've got. What guarantee do you need? These are the people who are doing shit. They're the ones that are getting results. I can tell you, yeah, I'll get you results. But when you speak to my participants and they're crushing results, what more guarantees do you need? So if I'm making money, he's standing next to the $500,000 car. Then he speaks to participants. Those same participants are telling them about the millions of dollars they're created, the improvement on the quality of their life, their relationships that have improved, their mindset that's improved, their health has got better. Their businesses have skyrocketed. They've become better leaders, better managers, better communicators, all these things that he spoke to them about. And then he still questions whether I can get results. What he's really saying is he doesn't believe in himself enough to get results because he keeps fucking shit up. And this is why most people are afraid to drop the hammer in life. Not because the results aren't possible. It's just the individual knows that it's not probable for them because they keep fucking shit up, self-destructing, self-sabotaging. And then they let fear define their behaviors. No one ever has the money to go to the next level. You've heard me say this before. Your budget will never fit your next level. Your timeline will never fit your next level. So when I talk to people on sales calls and they're like, oh man, I don't know. I just don't have the time to do shit at the moment. I'm like, okay, no kidding, right? You and 8 billion other people on the planet. But where do you want to be? You want to be down the bottom? You want to be in the middle? Or you want to be at the top? Where do you want to be? Now, you might be in the top in one area of life. You might be the best person in an intimate relationship, and you might be the best mother or the best father in the world. But first of all, if you're talking to me and if you're listening to this podcast and if you're watching my shit on social media, the only reason why you'd be doing that is for 2 reasons. One, because you're a knob jockey and you look at photos of my car or you look at photos of other people's lives and you jack off over it and you go, wow, they have a great life and I wish that I could have that one day. That's most people. The other bunch of people out there, which is probably you, because if this is you and you're listening to this podcast, you're probably not just sitting on social media jacking off over other people's Instagram posts. You're probably someone that wants to do shit and you want to execute and you want to be better. So if that is true, then in order to go to the next level, you need 2 things that you're probably not doing. Number 1 is making a commitment and making a decision. That's always the hardest thing. The decision is the hardest thing that stops everybody. Everybody. So when someone says to me, I don't have the money, I'm like, cool, there's just another stall of making a decision. Oh, I don't have the time. No shit, motherfucker. Of course you don't have the time. It's another stall. All you're saying is, I like being at this level that I'm playing the game at. When you go to buy a house that you can't afford, that is scary. When you go buy a car that you're not ready to buy yet, that is scary. When you're a business owner and you go to hire 3 staff because your other staff are massively overworked, and you know that if you don't hire staff, you're going to be in more shit. In order to hire those 3 staff, it takes more time. When I hire staff, I don't sit there and go, wow, I've got heaps of time to just waste going through resumes and fucking around and looking through shit and interviewing people, knowing that 95% of them are going to be a waste of time and energy. I don't have the time to do that. Nor do I have the money just sitting there and I go, cool, I've got an extra $100,000 a year to pay someone $100,000 a year. I sit there and I go, I don't have the money and I don't have the time, which is why I need to hire somebody, because I need to be able to delegate shit. But here's the problem. If I'm already at 100% capacity, right, 100%, I now have to go to 120%. I've got to stretch myself, right? Just like if you get a balloon and you blow up a balloon, if you just blow it up a little bit, it shrinks back to the exact same balloon shape. If you blow the fuck out of a balloon and expand it beyond where it's at, it will distort. And when you let the air out of the balloon all looks all warped and all fucked up and all different. Why? Because you stretched it. In our life, if we want to grow to greater levels, we have to stretch ourselves. And that's what most people don't like, because they don't like being uncomfortable. So the first thing that happens when everyone goes to make a decision, they sit there, they worry about shit, they let fear dictate their behavior. And then because of that, most of them just create stalls. Oh, well, I don't have the money yet. Oh, I don't have the time. Oh, what will my partner think? Oh, what happens if I fail? All this shit comes up in their head. Now, 99% of people sit there and they go, oh, well, one day in the future. And so they stall the decision. They think that in the future, the decision's going to be easier. And the truth is that it's not. That is the fool's game. If you think like that, you're a fool and life will not change. And I guarantee you know this because you've been doing it your whole life, right? You know the difference between making decisions that are going to push you to the next level. They are going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to be ready for them, but you do them anyway because you have courage to make the fucking decision. And when you make the decision, you commit to it. So you make the decision and you commit. Then you go, oh shit, now I have to work. Then what happens is you push yourself. And as you push yourself, you start to build new skills, new competencies, new level of courage, new level of belief. And all of a sudden you're building the character that is going to get you to that next level. That never happens while you play safe. This is why life is so easy to win. And you can hear right now, like I wish that I could just get this through to most people, because most people will never live up to their own expectations, not even close. And most people spend their whole life being disappointed in the person that they are, in the results that they have, or the results that they don't have, because they know that they're capable of so much more, but they let their emotions drive their behaviors, not their goals, not their ambitions, and not becoming a greater individual, not building the character or the person that they admire in life. And so when they look in the mirror, they're used to seeing disappointment. They're used to going to bed at nighttime thinking about all the things that they wish that they had, that they don't have, that they're not even working towards. And that's why most people overeat, watch a shitload of television, watch sports on weekends, get all emotional about their sports team, yet they can't even fucking control the game. They have no impact on the game whatsoever. Yet it gives them a false sense of achievement, because when their team win, they go, we won. Yet the truth is, you didn't do shit. You sat in the grandstand watching other people play the game. People who play the game get paid. People who sit in the grandstand pay money to watch other people playing the game. And I guarantee that if you consistently do that, you do it in other areas of your life as well, where you're watching other people get results and you're not getting the results, and you're paying for that. There is an expense for that. That expense might be your time, it might be your energy, it might be your self-worth, it might be your self-belief, it might be your self-confidence, your self-respect. All of those things get all fucking trashed when you watch other people play the game. When you wake up and you get out of bed every day and you play with courage and you play with confidence and you take control of your fear and you say, this is my mission, this is the goal, these are the goals, and in order to get there, I have to become better. You don't get that shit without becoming better. A business person who builds a great business does not build a great business if they don't get better at business. The person themselves has to get better. They have to improve. That's the gap that everyone else says, or everyone else has, right? When people come up to me and they're like, oh man, I want a supercar one day. I have it. I'm going to a car event this weekend. Happens every time I go to them. People come up and they're like, oh man, I'm going to have one of these one day. I'm like, I bet you won't, right? Not that I want to be a negative motherfucker, but the truth is 99% of people won't. Why? Because they don't build the character that they need in order to get those results. The car is only a direct reflection of the person and what they've built. You don't get the $10 million house without becoming a $10 million person. You don't get the $100 million business without becoming a $100 million person. You don't get the great body where other people go, shit, that looks amazing, without developing the mindset to have that person in your mind already. You do not get it. You earn everything that you have in your life. If you look at your life right now and you don't have what you want, it's because you haven't fucking earned it. And most people don't want to hear that. And you haven't earned it because you're probably a little bitch that sits there making fucking excuses as to why you don't have the results that you want. Right? And I hope this is the kick up the ass. I know that this episode is going to piss some people off and they're going to be, this guy's a fucking prick. But the truth is that I'm a coach. For some of those people out there who are listening to this, you're listening to this going, you know what? You're 100% right. I got to step up the game. I love that. I can't wait to see your next level of you. I can't wait to see the next level of financial achievements, personal achievements, great results, everything that you achieve because you got better. But the truth is that most people out there won't get better. They won't. They're only going to get worse. This is why when you meet old people, most of them are fucking grumpy and angry and bitter and complain about everything. Why? Because they spent a lifetime of disappointing themselves. Whereas when you come across people like Warren Buffett, one of the richest people on the planet, greatest investor of all time, that dude's stoked. Him and Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger just passed away. I think he was 97 years of age, 97 or 99. Super switched on, super smart, right into his final days. He ran one of the biggest companies in the world in Berkshire Hathaway that owns so many other different companies, right? They're one of the most successful companies on the planet. Why is he still mentally switched on, highly intelligent, doesn't bitch and moan about everything all the time? Why? Because he keeps focused on, first of all, developing himself as a character. And over the years, he gets better and better and better and improves himself. So he's had 97 years of improvement. What normally happens is the grumpy motherfucker at 60 has had probably the first 10 years of their life of improvement, then go through their teenage years, develop all their lack of confidence, their lack of self-belief like most teenagers do. They start doubting themselves. They start doubting everything because they're in the schooling system and everyone tells them that they're wrong doing shit. And then eventually they end up going out into the workforce and they realize they're starting at the bottom. And in order to work their way up to where they want to be, they have to keep having courage. They've got to keep stepping up. But now they've got a home, they've got a car, and so they start playing safe. By the time they're in their 30s, they're used to playing safe. They're used to giving up on themselves. They're used to doubting themselves all the time. Because the harsh reality is that it's scary. It is scary to look in the mirror and say, I wish that I had a better life, but I'm not the person that I need to be to have that better life. And because I'm scared, I'm going to keep making decisions out of fear and by being afraid. And by doing that, I'm probably going to stay stuck at the level. So then they start justifying it. And this is why people justify their excuses. Yeah, but you don't understand. when I was at school, these days I hear all these coaches out there talking about dealing with trauma. You got to deal with your trauma, deal with your trauma, deal with your trauma. The more people focus on the trauma, the more their life becomes traumatic because they're not focused on their vision, their mission, the future, and building the character that they admire. They're not building that. They're worried about their fucking trauma and they think that they're attached to it still. And they're like, yeah, but it's because of my trauma. Until I deal with this, I can't move forward. That is so ridiculous. You build the person that you admire. You build that person every day, every day, every day, every day. You work on it. You keep working on it and you keep stepping up. Every day you wake up and if you say, I'm going to do something that scares me today, I'm going to do something that scares me today, and you keep making decisions that are a little bit scary. You go to the gym and you're like, shit, this scares the fuck out of me. You do it for a couple of months. You start developing friendships there. You start meeting people and now it becomes comfortable. Then you go, shit, I'm going to invest in a personal trainer, but I don't have the money. That's scary, but I need to make more money. It forces you to make more money. So then now you start making more money because your brain switches on and you go, how do I make more money? How do I do this? Where's the opportunities? You start seeing the world differently and you start stepping up. But most people don't do that. Most people don't do that because they won't commit. They won't commit and they won't make tough decisions because they're always waiting to be ready to make the decision. And the truth is you're never ready for the next level. And that's why most people are stuck. They let fear dictate and design the quality of their life, which is why most people don't have the quality of life that they want and why their life resembles fear. If you want your life to resemble something amazing, then you better build the person who is fucking amazing. And in order to do that, you've got to build an amazing mindset that controls your emotions in an amazing way. And then from there, build the body that's amazing. When you do that and you look after mind, emotions, body, and you start taking the right actions and you become more disciplined, people around you will lose their fucking mind because that's what everybody wants. And if you keep doing that, you will keep succeeding and achieving. One day you'll wake up and you'll look at your life and you just go, shit, I have everything that I dreamed of. But now my dreams have grown, but I 100% believe in me, and then anything's possible in life. So you're either going to let inspiration drive your behaviors or fear drive your behaviors. If fear keeps driving your behaviors and you're always waiting for the right time, the right place, and you keep making excuses and you keep justifying it to yourself, life is only going to get worse as you get older. Time amplifies everything. It never makes things better. It only amplifies everything. So if someone can't make a tough decision now, they can't make a tough decision in the future because it's going to only amplify their fears, their worries, and their concerns. That's why when you know you need to step up, you fucking step up. You don't keep putting it off because if you keep putting it off, you'll keep ending up in the same position that you're already in. Driven mofos, have a great day. Just remember that if fear defines your life, you'll never win. Stay focused on your mission, your vision, your goals, becoming the person that is the best version of you. And the only way that you can do that, be decisive, make decisions, stay focused on the future, and keep pushing hard. Take care, Driven mofos. See you on the next episode. Most people waste their life, and I just don't want you to be one of them.